Hey everybody, we're back on the next video, and that's going to be replacing some drip rails on the 67 Chevelle. My name's Randy Wittes. We've got our roof off, obviously. We did our patchwork, welded in some new metal, and did some prepping. Got some more prepping to do. I saved you the boredom of me drilling and cutting spot welds out. So here's the new drip rail. We got to make it fit. See you in a minute. Ready, set, go. No. Whoopsie. Gonna hurt. Hey, so yeah, we got to make this thing fit, and the reason I say that is, there you go, it's a little twisted. We do have something that helps line it up, possibly this. I'm not sure where that's supposed to be, but this is our major little point, I believe. The other thing, this is a little, yeah, it's not real pretty. It's supposed to be a little more rounded, a little nicer, and I think a little longer. But you know, we're gonna go with it. So, let's get a light. I'm gonna show you what else we're trying to line up. Ooh, that's bright. And that is, well, all right, there's not an easy way to clamp it other than what you see. What we have to, well, we have to make that fit. There shouldn't be any space, daylight up here. This little bump right here, you can see, lines up with this little bump, and it does not right there, but it does right there. Doesn't right there, close there, kind of does right there. We got some work to do. And see, the clamping part isn't really stable. It's just never a good spot. All right, so I'm just going to move it around a little bit. Yeah, I can already tell. We're going to have to do some shrinking and a stretching along this right here to get this to line up, because we're not bad right here from what I can tell. We're well, you saw what happens when I loosened that up in the front. It blinked and popped up like that. So we're going to have to stretch this in here. That'll bring the front down. You got to put a little twist in the back, get that to lay down. This corner right here goes way off. It's flared out like this, so we got a big gap, and it's hanging down about that far. This is okay right here. So that means I'm going to have to shrink this area here to take that bend that's like so. When we shrink the back side, this metal here, it'll pull that bend open so that it'll follow the ridge better. This is going to take a lot. And I got to figure out where my constant's going to be. So that means I need to put in I'm looking right here. So, right here. Couple layers in that. Okay. So we have a constant right there. That will always be the same place. Yeah. Now, we've got that locked in. That probably doesn't have to be as critical as I'm going to make it. But you have to keep in mind that we have to get the roof skin to fit. And it's got to go into here. So I want to make sure this fits this as best we can make it. So this is going to be probably boring. I've never put on a drip rail before. So we are all learning at the same time. Okay, I'm having a problem is this is tilted out. So I'm gonna Yeah. Actually, that looks better. Wow, that back there is really off. Okay, see if I can get something to line up. Thin metal, it's pushing everything in. Okay, show you where we are. I'm even here. I'm not here, so it's got a bow in it. So let's see. That, yeah, okay. So I don't know if you can see. I can't even see. All right, good. Now, all right, this right here. So to clamp that, that'd be good. Actually, all this looks pretty good right now. So I think I'm going to put another cleco in there. Just walked a long way around the car. Okay, so now we have this right here, I think is where we need it. This is up a little high. We could shrink that. Maybe. We'll just keep playing with it, and then we'll get to the fine tuning. That is way off now. It's so hard to tell. If I just look under here, looks great. That's where it needs to be. But, again, all right, moving on. Well, now we've lost it. It's a big old gap right there. Big old bend right there. And I don't want to bend. Just grab it and bend it. I got to think about that for a little bit. And even though that's kind of what I've been doing, I got to just really be careful. So, see you in a minute. Hey, so decided we got to do a little stretching. So, not much, just a smidge. Gotta ease up on it. When I say stretching, we stretch this edge here, which bends this corner. It will bring this end down. So. You don't see it, but I had my hand on that end and it moved. And it moves a lot. I just barely touched it. Working into a little issue. is trying to make that fit. So see, it fits up to here. I stretched it in this area. We got that working pretty well, but now this dips way down and then goes back that way. So we've got to now shrink this area. Now it's going to tip that end way out like that, but you know, we got to do what we got to do. So I'm going to have to come back into here. Yeah. Shrink this. Of course, my shrinker's laying over there on the table. All right, I'm gonna shrink that and I'll be right back. All right, so we did some, stretch this a little bit to flatten it out. Got that. We then come back in here and shrunk this all the way down to here. So, as you can see, we are closer. Not quite there. The shrinking's distorting things some. Well, the shrinking and the stretching, not just the one. Let's see, where do we need to be? We're too high. So that means we need to shrink a little more. But it's coming around. You can see it. We're getting good to right about here. So we need to come from about here again on down to about here again. Just a little bit more. So let's remove that. Hold it with my left arm and the camera at the same time. That works. Okay. A little wobble going on. Let's see what it's doing to that. We'll have to straighten that out. See what it's doing to this. We're torquing things around, but you just gotta move it. You gotta bend it back. All right, see what that did. Doesn't look like I did a lot, but we will know right here in a second. Okay, that's pretty ugly. Now what's it look like? Our arch is getting really close. See? Really close. So we have to do a little manipulating, as we call it. See how well that worked? We got also, look at this. Now, let's see. Still have to stretch it right in here. Going back, and this is just what takes time. A lot of time. Back and forth, fit it again, back and forth. All the way in. Now I know what's going to happen is this end's going to be too far in. But once I get this to fit, I got to get this bow out. Somehow. Not sure how. It may have worked. Okay, how are we fitting? That mark has changed some. Arch is not bad at all, according to my finger. Push it in. can see it. I'm going to do a little tweaking on this right here, meaning I'm going to bend it, twist it, do some of that. I'm going to be right back. Alrighty, so move this here light. We got a little gap up here. Not too bad. We can clamp it. We're meeting flush here, much better. All the way, this sits down a little, all the way to about here. But now we've gone too far. And I knew that was going to happen. Not a big deal. We're good right there. Yeah, I don't know how perfect it's going to be. We could shrink a little bit here. No, yeah. No. Shrinking will pull this end down. Don't want to do that. But right here I want to pull this end up a little bit, so yeah, I need to shrink this. So yeah, it's going to pull that end up. And I've made a stretch indicator on this thing and I'm completely wrong. It's all shrink. So a little shrink here. We might get that where we need it. Okay. Release the Kraken. Get this off again. One more time. Get it out. Get it out. Put that one off. Come on over here. And we said we want to shrink, right? That's the stretcher. Gotta go over here. Oh. We need to check that one. stretch a little bit right there. Just a little. Stretching, but it doesn't feel like it's stretching. Okay, so we got that, I think. Now we got to go back, and like what I said before, stretch this end a little bit right there. I keep messing things up. It's not stretching. I need to shrink it. I need to pull that end out. It's easy to mess up. Going back and forth, back and forth. See where that got us. Yep. Yeah. Okay, this is how it's just sitting there. Arch is not bad. A little gap up here. Of course, that's just one of those, shove it in there. Might be close, might be close. Okay, we are really, really close. Let's see up in here. All the way down. Really, really close. The very end is a little off, but we're really close. I think I could put, you know what, right there. All that grid. And I'm thinking. Okay. A lot of silence because I'm thinking, I'm feeling this thing. Now we're anchored to here. This needs to come back to there, which, you know, obviously we can move that, but what happens, you see, kind of it buckles things a little bit. Plus this is up. So if we pull this back, pull that even more out of whack. See? Actually, that's anyway, we gotta fiddle with it. I'll be back. See where that got us. Yep. Yeah. Okay, this is how it's just sitting there. Arch is not bad. A little gap up here. Of course, that's just one of those, shove it in there. Might be close, might be close. Okay, we are really close. You can see up in here, all the way down, really close. The very end is a little off, but we're really close. I think I could put, you know what, right there. All that grid. And I'm thinking. Okay. A lot of silence because I'm thinking, I'm feeling this thing. Now we're anchored to here. This needs to come back to there, which, you know, obviously we can move that. But what happens, you see, kind of it buckles things a little bit. Plus this is up. So if we pull this back, pull that even more out of whack. See? Actually, that's... Anyway, we gotta fiddle with it. I'll be back. Okay, several days later. Anyway, we're back and we're fiddling with it. So I've done some fiddling up under here, and I've got that crease down here looking good. It had a little swoop to it, so we shrunk this area, which helped to straighten that out. But I only wanted to do this area, not so much this, but we'll get to that later. So now there's an area right, this whole area right here that I'm feeling that I need to shrink and straighten out a little bit. So let's go ahead and get that done real quick. Been working on it some already, so we need to see how much more we have to go. And you know, it's the same old thing. You trip back and forth to the stretcher shrinker 100 times, and it'll be 100 more times. That's why I'm trying not to let you get bored with all this, but it is part of the process. So, you know, it is what it is. Go here. Let's see what that did. Going to it's fun only having two hands and you're trying to do four things at once. There it is. Okay, so you see that twisted out a little bit, which has been normal. Did find something interesting. There's a hole here. I'm assuming that's the hole just to hang it so they can spray it. But it lines up with that right there. Almost perfectly. Look at that. Coincidence? I don't know. Because that's not lining up anymore. This kind of still is. Okay, so does it fit? I don't know. It's better. Better. Getting closer. It's more or less right here now that this corner is a little higher than what's inside. Well, really, I mean, we can go from here to here. Let's do it again. Now, if you notice, see this not so evenness of this outer edge, and the not so evenness of this right here. But I'm still seeing a dip right here in this piece. Well, actually the dip is what we want, so probably went too far. That's what happened. Do some tweaking, more fine tuning. The thing that's happening more is, so where are we here? Okay, so this end is kicked back. This I can't see. You know, as we're straightening it, it's kicking this way. So now, I'm gonna have to come up in here to kick this down, but I don't like this at all. I'm gonna have to straighten that back out, straighten this piece out. Pull that down. Where am I? Let's just try to put that in there where that belongs. So we're okay there. Okay, we're down a little too much there. That's where that dip is. So we can pull that back. That's actually okay. So let's pull this back. See, and you guys thought these panels just went right into place. That just takes such a tiny little bit to move that around. All right, people. I'm gonna call this part in here good enough. I mean, you know, get the bead of seam sealer in there anyway, I think. This we got to play with, and I got to play with the pitch of this right here a smidge. If you can look at it, kind of comes down and then just rolls that way, and it should not. Should be flat. As far as the bottom goes, should be like this. So how can we gracefully and just, well, let's put a couple of thingies in there first. Put more in this little section than I did the whole thing, but this little section's tough, and what I'm going to end up doing is putting screws in here like I said, screws in here just to hold it in place, and then I'm going to fit a trim piece up underneath that goes there for the window seal, and then I might even fit the roof. See where that lies. Meanwhile, can I? No. That's not working. Let's try something else. Hold on. When all else fails, hit the big rubber hammer. That went. Yeah, that went that time. Okay. Oops. Well, at least we know it will move. I can even adjust that when it's welded in place. That feels a little off from here to here. From here to here. Let's see. Sometimes you just think out loud because there's nobody around. Looking at the arch here, and I don't think I'm looking at this arch. It kind of flattens out right through here. The roof kind of does the same thing. So let's go in and shrink it from here to here. And I'm gonna do that and be right back. Plus the battery's getting hot in the camera. Okay, so got my little bitty screws in there, little self-tappers, and flatten this out a little bit, as you can see, and then it kicked this out, and I had to flatten this back down, and then anyway, that one we had to drill a new lineup hole, whatever, because it threw that one off. So no biggie. You know, you can keep just tweaking and bending and pushing, and you know, I could work that right there some more, because you know, we had that once, but at some point you have to say good enough. So that's what we're gonna say, and you're not gonna see anything under here because, like I said, it's gonna get filled with a seam sealer right along there. Fill that in. All right, we're gonna put the roof on for a test fit, and I can't hold the camera and move that thing, and it's hard enough to move it as it is. So here we go. Yeah, this is looking fun. So we're down as far as we can get there. No drip rail, and down as far as we can get there. Now this, my friend, we can't shove that way anymore. This has these little things on here that I think I need to cut off. I think they used it to hang it so they could paint it. Or I'll just bend it up. for now. I mean, oh, no, just gonna cut it off. Then I'll clean it up with the grinder, because these aren't gonna make it pretty. That's for sure. Yeah, see? Not very pretty. So, the grinder. Yeah, see that? Cut the crap out of me. All right. So, fitting. All right, my friends, there you go. See, it's great. Nope. I don't know. I'm gonna have to, you know, fiddle with it. I don't know what to... Well, I'm just gonna yank it over this way for the time being, which makes it not fit there. But at least it fell in the hole here. Oh boy. You know, I've never put on a roof skin, ever, especially an aftermarket one with an aftermarket drip rail. And I can see that's already wider than the rest of this. Oh boy, this is gonna be loads of fun. I just tell. Oopsie. Don't need to do that. Wow. All right, I want to show you something that I'm seeing so far. You see how wide that is? See how my finger just not even fits in there really? Okay, you see this little lip right here should match that little lip right there, and you see how wide that is. Okay, so I have a feeling I'm gonna have to measure, draw me a line along here, trim that out to get that to drop down in, because I don't think it will otherwise. Ever. Nope. Not gonna do it. Nope. Yeah. No. Not gonna happen. But you know, that's why we fit it, so we can figure that out. So, well, I'm gonna put on the other drip rail, and that's the end of this video. We'll see you on the next one. It's gonna be, yeah, gonna be fitting a roof skin. Like and subscribe.